Every great landscape photo is made up of key elements coming together. The right location, perfect lighting, thoughtful composition, and a strong subject. But if any of these components are missing, it's unlikely the image will have that impactful feel. On this particular day, I had the perfect light and a stunning location, but something was still off. Luckily, the final image came together to save the day. Morning everyone, and welcome back to the vlog, and a very happy new year to you. Now, to say it was difficult to get out of bed and get going this morning would be an understatement. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a chilling -5 degrees, which really does get through to the core. But it's stunning out here. We've got snow on the ground, patches of ice. I'm actually at the foot of Schiehallion, one of Scotland's absolutely stunning mountains, and I'm looking for Glen More, which I believe you can get to around the base of the mountain. But absolutely stunning being out here, but very difficult to get up, get going, get motivated this morning. I think that's the trouble with the Christmas break. You get relaxed, you get used to being sat down in a warm house. But I cannot complain because it is absolutely stunning out here. There's some blue patches of sky and I've got mist behind me, so I haven't got a clue what the weather's going to do, but I'm looking forward to seeing what I can find at the end of this path and perhaps heading into the glen a little bit more. So let's go see what we can find. I'm finding it really difficult to actually find a subject to photograph. We've set ourselves a real challenge today. There's lots of shrubs and lots of nice sort of grasses with frost on them, but actually finding a main subject is proving incredibly difficult. You can see around me that there's lots of sort of small plants and there are a sort of few trees that are scattered about. The light is amazing. If we had a good subject, it would be absolutely stunning. We've got the lights breaking through the mist. It's soft every now and again. It's catching on some of the sort of foliage that's scattered around me. And it really is quite dramatic, that combination of mist and light. But without the subject, you don't have a photograph, not something that's compelling. I can take a nice quick shot of the scene and it'll be great, but it won't be what I'm looking for. So I'm sort of trying to find, there's a few groups of silver birches just behind me, and I'm hoping there's going to be something in amongst them or just sort of on the edges of those that I can use. I do like the colours that you get with the silver birches at this time of the year, with those sort of mauvey purple sort of colours, as you can just see behind me. But I kind of feel like I'm wandering around in there, just in the middle of nowhere, searching for that great find, and probably missing lots of things as I go past. But I don't know, until that one thing grabs my eye, I think I'm going to just be continuously searching. So, hey, we all have a challenge. And as I said, new year, new start. Maybe that is the challenge of bringing yourself somewhere that's difficult to photograph and coming away with that shot. So what I'm going to try and do is capture an image of some of these silhouettes of trees up on the hills here. The light is directly sort of about a 45-degree angle to me, so it's going to be difficult to knock out some of that light. But I really like the sort of softness of the silhouettes of the birches that are there sat in the backdrop, and you can just see the trees in the mist behind. So maybe if that clears a little bit, I'm going to stick on the 70 to 200 millimeter lens, but also that enables me to perhaps just scan the scene as well. Sometimes when you're looking through the camera on a long lens, you can pick out some other elements which can be nice. So anyway, I'm going to set up and see if I can first of all capture these nice silhouettes up on the hill first. So you can see I'm absolutely completely shrouded in mist now. Everything's disappeared. I can hear voices in the distance. I'm guessing that it's perhaps people heading up Schiehallion, but you can't really see your hand in front of your face at the moment. I managed to set up a shot with some nice trees silhouetted in the distance, actually almost photographing directly into the sun because the actual mist is shrouding it so much. I mean, now it's completely gone, but I've got to say it is incredibly difficult to see the image on the back of the camera. It's definitely going to be an abstract shot. It's going to be very soft and lots of shades, but perhaps not a distinct image in itself. But could be nice with the light just behind those trees, just giving me a little bit more depth. But never confident when you can't really sort of see it that clearly on the back of the camera. So I'm going to take a couple of shots. I'll wait for the sun to come back out again and light up those trees behind with that soft, warm glow. But not much point in showing you on the back of the camera just at the moment. But I've got to say, and I've said it before lots of times in videos, that, you know, okay, I haven't found any photographs yet, but it is absolutely amazing being out here, and crikey, you know, much better than being sat indoors vegetating, and you never regret being out. As I've said many times before, that once you're outdoors, it does really boost you and make you feel better. You feel more energetic, nice clean air to breathe, and yeah, it's good to be out here. So anyway, I'm going to patiently wait for that sun to come back through just a little bit through that mist and see if I can get this shot. This first image highlights how crucial a strong subject is to making or breaking a shot. Without a focal point, the viewer's eye has nowhere to rest, leaving the scene feeling directionless. Even great light can't compensate for that. Okay, I think I could really be clutching at straws here. I think in the advent of finding nothing at the moment to really sort of hone in on and focus on, I'm taking images of these. Yeah, it is a nice scene. It's these tall, straight trees that are coming up through here, but of course, with the mist behind it, they're totally isolated. And it's making a nice scene. One of those things where you can look so hard trying to find an image that eventually you start convincing yourself that you've found a good shot. I'm not so sure. But anyway, look, let me show you what I'm looking at on the back of the camera. So you can see on the back of the camera here, we've got these dark silhouettes of the trees, which really are just almost like stick-like with the fog and mist in the background there. It's difficult to see sort of like on this format with the film camera. I've got more space in my image above the top of this large tree on my left-hand side, which I've pretty much put on my third of a way in from the left-hand side, but it's hard to get excited about it. I was just saying to Corin there that I'm trying to sound all upbeat and positive behind the camera, but it really is a struggle today. I mean, I go back to it. It's beautiful being out, but finding images is difficult, but that happens. That's just one of those things about being a photographer and coming out to new places. And sometimes you just walk straight into an image, and sometimes you can just work the scene as hard as possible and still not find anything. So it's going to be one of those days. But anyway, let's enough waffling. Let's take this shot, and if it even comes out remotely any good, here's the image. This second image demonstrates that when all the elements are weak, the result is an image that simply just doesn't work. Okay, so let's be honest here. I think we can safely say that photography-wise, today has been an epic fail, and that's okay. We get days like that. We get days where we come out and we don't find the image that we're looking for, or it doesn't find us. And I think without having that subject matter to photograph, we're surrounded by beautiful light, and we've got foliage, we've got sort of trees, but isolating them in such a way that gives a pleasing image is just impossible. I was hoping to try and find some nice silhouettes of trees along the backdrop with the sunlit behind them, but unfortunately there's just no shapes to those trees. And when you get up close, you just lose all of that definition. They all blend in together. And I'm really not finding that image. This isn't a great environment to be able to get around in, so getting anywhere is really difficult. We definitely failed on this front in finding Glenmore. I think we've come in from the wrong point. We came down to Schiehallion from the car park and walked in through, but I think you've probably got to be further up to get back in from the bottom part of the glen. So, but anyway, I mean, you know, what a beautiful day to be out. I mean, I'm certainly not complaining about being out here, because it really is just so nice to start the new year and being out in this environment. So no complaints there. And hey, if we don't come away with an image, that's okay too. That's all part of the learning process. So anyway, I'm not going to just give up right yet. I'm just going to sort of scout around a little bit more, see if I can find something hidden away. So been completely determined not to come away with a complete failure with no images. I've come up into this grouping of silver birches. If you follow the vlog, you know that I'm always drawn to the trees. If all else fails, head to the trees. And I've come up and I've just come across these two silver birches behind me here. Now, they're not in themselves spectacular, but what I really like about them is the colour of their trunks, that bark, that sort of rich golden coppery colour sat against the beautiful muted backdrop. And I will say that at this time of the year, you know, it's really nice to get those contrasts. You've got real cold air, you've got blues and grey tones behind, and then if you do find a punch of colour, it's really nice. Now I'm just honing in on the trunks of these two trees, not really sort of trying to eliminate the top sort of bright light area, although it's not too bad because the fog is just coming in thick and fast. Now there is some side directional light coming up from up there which is diffused because of this mist. You can tell I've picked up a little bit just from finding an image. It's quite, I mean, you know, it is beautiful being out here, but as a photographer, you are always frustrated if you don't find an image while you're out. So hopefully this will give me a shot to walk away with. So anyway, let me show you what I'm looking at in the back of the camera. So you can see we've got these two silver birches that just side by side. You can see I've eliminated a lot of the sky area above, but we've got these beautiful warm trunks that come up through just with that sort of grey bluishy backdrop of coldness behind the ice and the frost. And I really like that the way that these just really punch out. I've kind of positioned them so that they're sort of fairly separated, so that it just gives a little space between them, but I really do want to pick up a lot of this sort of frost and snow that surrounds it, just showing that cold area. And yeah, I think this is going to be a nice image. Processing it wise, I think we sort of need to sort of darken it down a little bit and just bring out some of those light areas of the trunks. But I like that we've got some grasses here, and as I said, that light is just kicking off behind. I'm just going to take an image now, just while we've got that sort of perfect light there, which really is just touching the trunks and really highlighting some of that sort of burnt orange colour. So anyway, I think that that might just be the image, literally, of the day. This final image really pulled it all together. All the key elements, the right location, ideal lighting, careful composition, and a strong subject came into play. I particularly loved the contrast between the warm copper-coloured birch trunks and that cold, frosty background. A perfect way to end the day. Okay, I think it's safe to say that this hasn't been the most successful photography day that I've had in a long while, but let's put it down to the warm-up for the new year, and I've got to say it really has been absolutely amazing being out here. The weather's been stunning, the light's been stunning, and perhaps maybe it's me, maybe it's getting into the new year vibe and just sort of immersing yourself in the surroundings. I do think it's difficult when you come to a new area to take it all in and to really sort of absorb what's around you. And it's been a real struggle to find subjects today. I think that with the light that I've had, I've really needed some strong elements to just bring it all together, and I haven't had those. I'm kind of hoping that the silver birches at the end there just saved the day for me, but doesn't matter. What an epic day, beautiful location. It's been great being out, and I'm really looking forward to discovering some new places throughout the year. Thank you again so much for watching. Again, a very happy and healthy new year to you all. And well, that's it. And I look forward to seeing you in the next episode of the vlog. Thanks for watching.